I'm Johnny Ambler. And I want to drink alone. Anybody object?
From out of the West, Dick Powell, Shane Gray Theater.
A sheriff's badge. It's been worn by every famous lawman from Wild Bill Hickok to Gary Cooper. And I reckon Coop wore it more than anybody. Being sheriff in the early days was a pretty rough job, but the pay was quite high, $125 a month, plus a bonus for each arrest. Sheriff Pat Garrett is best known for killing the notorious gunman Billy the Kid. His bonus for that job, $2.50. Of course, in those days, that was a month's rent. Sometimes, in the case of an emergency, a sheriff would ride shotgun for Wells Fargo. Oh, by the way, the last stage holdup was July 9th, 1915 at Yellowstone. The bandit got $200. One of the passengers on that stage was Bernard Baruch. In our show this week, I get a chance to play a sheriff. Appearing with me are Robert Vaughn and Beverly Garland. You got my letter?
Yeah, all the way from Cambria, I had me a wager going with my horse. Now, he bet me you wanted somebody shot. And I bet him he was wrong.
Your horse wins, Johnny.
And then he gets an extra apple. Gee, that old horse beats me every time. What you picked out, Bert?
Jess Brackett. Marshal here. I want him took.
Any particular reason?
He ruined the town. Now he closed me up. Look at them tables over there, shut down tight. Gambling's illegal here. Since Brackett took over. Lost me a lot of customers.
Looks like you kind of put the town in a box, huh?
And I want it let out again, Johnny.
Looks like he's got you cutting your drinks, too, ain't he?
Man's got to make a profit somehow. Here. Try this. You interested in this Brackett, kid?
I don't know. Should I be?
I know you need the money. I hear you're on the run.
Who said so?
Word gets around.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't show my heels to nobody.
Not even somebody named Walker Collins?
What about Walker Collins?
I hear tell you got drunk one night up in Wichita and shot Collins' brother.
No, that was a fair fight.
They say Collins thinks it wasn't. $100, Johnny. 400 more when you finish the job. Enough to get you over the border in fine style.
No, I told you I ain't running. If anybody wants me, they'll know where to find me.
Sure, Johnny, sure. First payment for his hide. If you can take him.
I can take anybody I have a mind to.
He's awful fast with a gun.
Oh, was he faster than me, maybe?
If he is, you lose $400.
I never killed a man except to save my own life. How do you figure I go about shooting this marshal in self-defense?
That's your problem. You work it out. What's wrong with your finger?
I cut out a cactus thorn a few days ago. It don't hurt much, though.
Looks kind of bad to me. Might slow your gun hand just enough.
Well, if it does, Bert, you lose $100. And Walker Collins loses my trail.
I'm Jess Brackett. You Johnny Ambler?
Don't I look it?
Yeah, you look it.
Oh, Oh, you're the marshal here, huh?
That's right, yeah. We'll give you 24 hours to get out of Benson.
Oh, what if I don't?
Don't gamble, Sonny. It's against the law here.
Well, I just got me $100, and I'd like to try and stretch it.
We'll stretch it someplace else.
Anybody here feel, chancy?
Give me a deck, Bert. I want one of your regular decks. You shuffle and cut. High card takes all. I understand you're fairly fast with the gun.
Well, as a few people tried to prove maybe I wasn't.
4 men in Wichita, 2 in Dodge. All right?
They all died of a bad case of slow.
After you.
Can you beat a king, Mr. Brackett?
Ace.
Listen, how come you got the cream off the bottom so easy like? These cards are crooked. This is a marked deck.
That's right. That's why there's no gambling allowed here.
I needed that money. Bad. And I'll get it back, Brackett. I swear. Next time you see if you can trick me with a gun.
You'll get your money back when you leave town within the time limit.
I'll leave town when I'm ready, Brackett. There's only one man that's faster than me with a gun. And you ain't him.
24 hours. Better set your clock.
Right, you keep that 400 handy. I got my own reason for collecting.
You just passed up a real fine chance.
Don't rush me. There's a doctor in this mangy town.
A few doors east, Doc Kimberly. I'll walk you down.
Look, I said don't rush me.
Help you, Mr. Ambler?
How did you know my name?
Well, when you come into town, you have a way of making your presence felt.
Well, I come to see Dr. Kimberly.
I'm Dr. Kimberly.
You're a doctor?
There's my diploma on the wall.
Yeah, well, doctoring's a man's job.
Well, then why don't you go to a male doctor?
All right, I will.
The nearest one is 100 miles from here, in Claybrook.
You want to look at my finger?
Not especially, but I will. Did you have a tight bandage on this?
For a spell. Why?
Well, that bandage cut off the circulation. It's in very bad condition, Mr. Ambler.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad until your tin horn marshal slammed it. I'll just fix it up. I'll see to it he pays the bill.
Just what do you mean by that?
You guess. Just get a milk and bread poultice on it and I'll get me out of here.
I'm afraid it's not that simple.
Look, just fix me up. I don't care how. You just fix me up.
Excuse me a minute.
Brought something for you, Ellen. smile for me?
Jess, I'm busy just now.
Well, you couldn't be too busy to look at this. Mrs. Mahaffey wanted me to bring it by and have you try it on, see if you need any alterations.
It's lovely. But it's going to have to wait.
Wait. Well, the wedding's tomorrow. Hey, what are you so shaky about?
Jess, I have a patient in there. Johnny Adler.
John? What's the matter with him?
He's got a badly infected finger. Right index. Gangrene.
Oh, it's pretty important to him. Are you sure it's that?
I'm positive. Look, what happened between you two?
Nothing for you to worry about.
Is he as fast with a gun as they say he is?
You have to hunt a piece to find anybody faster. You're a real lovey-dovey pair. Wedding bells, old shoes. They're kind of thin walls here, Doc.
I apologize for keeping you waiting, Mr. Ambler. I'd like to get on with the treatment, if I may.
So would I. I want to work and good again real soon.
I'm afraid you're going to be a little disappointed. You let that go too long. Gangrene has already set in. I'm going to have to amputate that finger.
Amputate? Who said so? You arranged this, didn't you, you tin horn? You're still dealing from the bottom of the deck, huh?
Not that far down.
I knew you were a quack. I'm going to that doctor in Claybrook.
You'll never make it, Mr. Ambler. What'll it be, the finger now or the arm next week?
Look, you ain't going to whittle me down.
Wait a minute, Amber. You're in bad shape.
Lift him on the table, Jess.
You sure it has to come off?
Uh-huh.
Clip a hawk's wing, you can't even run down a rabbit.
I know.
Same thing, what you're doing.
That's your professional viewpoint. Why don't you try and see it from mine?
I'm trying, Ellen. Are you sure your diagnosis has nothing to do with your feeling for me?
I thought you knew me better than that.
It was a fair question.
Get me that piece of gauze. Let's get one thing straight, Jess. I love you very much. But I'm doing this to save his life, not yours. I'll be ready with this chloroform.
You know how this will look to the people in Benson, don't you?
I'm sorry our professional problems overlap, but I had to do my job as I saw it.
How long before he comes to?
Very soon.
Ellen, are you sure you did the right thing?
Come with me. I want to read you something. The death of a considerable portion of tissue is called gangrene, or mortification. And the condition may be due to various causes. At some point above the dead tissue, a red line appears, the line of demarcation. You saw that line, Jess, just above the joint.
Yeah.
As soon as a line of demarcation is formed, amputation is done above it. Unless such action is taken at once, there is grave danger that the patient will die from septic poisoning.
What have you done to me? Look, I've asked you, what have you done to me? You butcher and female quack!
He hasn't come out yet, Bert.
You cut me up to save the yellow hide of this tin horn.
What's he talking about?
Bert, look what they done to me. They cut off my finger to... He said he was going to find a way to stop me, and he did.
You cut off his trigger finger?
Mr. Farrow, I can't be responsible for the previous functions of that finger.
You've got something to do with this, Brackett.
I suppose you think I just go around town infecting people with gangrene.
I'm going to see that the town hears about this.
Well, why don't you do that, Bert? Do just that. And refer all interested parties to me.
They better know that they got a marshal that hides behind a woman's skirt.
all the ruckus in there about? Did Brackett try to run that gunfighter out of town?
No need now. Ellen Kimberly just whacked the kid's trigger finger off, down to a stump.
What for?
Save his life.
To save whose life?
That's a good question.
Brackett, that's no way to enforce the law. Why did you do it?
You ought to know the answer to that. I was afraid of him.
You just might have been at that. Well, I got no reason to shine up to Adler, but that's no way to do a man.
Looks to me like Ellen's knife was maybe faster than your gun hand, Jess.
Well, if you think so, you know how to get me out of office.
Recall?
Oh, no, we wouldn't think of going that far, Jazz, would we?
Who says we'd never? All we got to do is circulate a petition.
Well, why don't you do that?
Come on, boys, my place. Whiskey. You know if a man named Johnny Ambler come through here lately? Who's asking? A friend of his, from Abilene. You sure you ain't from Wichita? I said Abilene. Him and me used to swing a wide loop together. In that case, Johnny's here in town, but he stove up. He lost a trigger finger. It's too bad. A man like Johnny couldn't afford to. Where's he at now? Dr. Kimberly's. Who shall I say was asking? Don't say. Let me. It'll be a surprise.
You're not ready to leave yet?
Who says I ain't?
Look, you still need some medical care.
If you leave me alone, all I need is a trigger finger.
Well, what held you together, Amber? A trigger finger? And your mother probably gave you a spine?
All they ever gave me was a chance to be an orphan. At 7, watch them get pushed off their land and shot down because my old man wouldn't carry a gun. Well, I carry one.
You carry two.
Yeah, nobody pushes me around. I walk into a place and nobody crowds me. I come in and they move back. They move back, not me.
Who's the rider?
You don't know him. Walker Collins. From Wichita.
I've heard of him. What does he want here?
He wants me. Dead. And you had to play doctor.
You got another hand.
Oh, yeah, I got another. I never made a left-hand draw in my life.
Why do you pack two guns?
Never mind why.
It scares people. Keeps them from shoving you around. Is that it?
Shut up! Besides, it's not going to scare Walker Collins.
Well, maybe he's like you, wears two guns for show. Did you ever see him make a left-hand draw?
Oh, he doesn't need to. He's got a good right hand. All I got is this.
Why don't you try to grow a man on it?
I am a man.
A scared one. Amber, all your courage is wrapped up in a gun. Your trigger finger was your spine. The only thing that held you together, now that's gone. You'll have to start from scratch.
Just where you going?
I'm going to try to convince Walker Collins he ought to get out of town.
Look, I can iron out my own wrinkles.
You're welcome to join in whenever you think you're ready.
I don't need help from you or anybody. You trying to save my neck?
I'm not quite sure it's worth saving. But anybody who comes into this town, permanent or temporary, gets a protection of the law. That includes you. You're a little out of your territory, aren't you, Collins?
I got business in your town, Marshal.
Turn around.
Bert, this is Walker Collins from Wichita. Why don't you get him to sign your petition? He's the kind that likes wide open towns.
You lied. You told me you was from Abilene.
He's come here figuring to kill Johnny Ambler.
Here, somewhere else. It don't matter where.
Collins has killed men before, 7 in all. I hear tell 3 of them got in the back.
You keep on talking and you're gonna get it right between the eyes.
Now he's come here to cut on a boy with a crippled hand.
Funny thing. You save your life one way and lose it another.
You do think your life was saved?
Maybe. You want to see a clumsy left hand? You watch mine.
Run up your yellow flag, Collins, so everybody can see the color of it. He's all yours now, Ambler, if you want him. On even terms.
I make you move, Collins. I ain't got all day. Drop it, Collins. Now kick it away. You're even clumsier than I am, Collins. Why'd you do it for me, Brackett?
I didn't do it for you. You don't need help from anybody. You said so yourself.
Yeah, I said a lot of things, maybe. Anybody does. What are you gonna do with Collins?
Take him to Armagunda, have him stand trial for shooting at me.
What about your wedding?
I'll have to wait unless I can find a deputy with enough guts to take him in for me.
You got a spare badge? It'll make me sick to my stomach, but maybe I'll get used to it.
You might even learn to like it.
Hey, Ambler. What about my $100?
Well, why don't you just go inside and tell Brackett how I got it? Maybe he'll pay you back.
The wild horse works pretty good once he's broke for riding.